Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Alright, I wanted to bring you this today from Native Pride. It's a website on Native American stuff. Why they have this story today, I don't know. But the story came on the 25th, so I decided to put it out for you guys. Uh, this story tells you the dangers of all these vaccinations going on, folks. There was a clinic, and unfortunately it doesn't give you all the details in the first paragraph. There was a clinic who gave a 6-month-old baby 13 vaccine injections, and the baby basically died afterward. And this is just a heartbreaking story. It came December 25th, 2015. The baby's name supposedly was Alisa Neathery. The young. I'm sorry, the baby boy's name was Bently. Okay, so basically this is a story, folks. When her son Bently was 6 months old, the first name, Alisa took her son for his round of vaccines, a local clinic in Fort Worth, Texas. So this is where it actually starts down here. She had been delaying giving him his 2-month shots so his immune system could develop a bit more, and she felt confident that he would be far better now that he was 6 months old. The pediatrician that day was telling her how important vaccinations were and how many children died without them in his native country of Africa. He described how mothers would line up to get the shots for their babies, and as many as 10 children, and they would have as many as 10 children just to have a few that survived infancy. And basically, the 13 vaccinations that day, including the 2 triple doses of DTaP, hepatitis B, polio shot, 3 oral rotavirus doses, and a pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine, was all compressed into 3 shots and 1 oral dose. Took the nurse half an hour to prepare all the shots Bently received. The pediatrician told Alisa that her boy was perfectly healthy, that he showed about average strength in his stomach and legs. 5 days later, he was dead. Bently died sleeping on Alisa's chest in the middle of the day, 5 days after receiving the 13 inoculations. Holding up the photo of Bently, and I'll show you everything in a minute. The photograph, Alisa says, trying to steady her voice. This is Bently, or was Bently. And this is Bently now, she says quietly. Sorry, the way this person wrote this is kind of backwards. I'm trying to basically do this as much as possible. And basically, the baby was cremated, or yep, okay. So the baby was cremated, and she says she trusted them. I thought this was going to save my son. At the back of the room, her now 5-year-old daughter, Skylar, who was 2 when Bently died, shifted in her father's lap, looked over the table for fluffy cakes, whatever how fluffy cakes are. He adored all of us. He adored his sister and his daddy, and you get the idea. And so this chick really goes on and on. I mean, this is about a 4-page, 5-page thing. And I don't know if this kid was all there or not, one way or another. But this is basically the story. This lady waited to give her kids shots, and they overdosed them. And 5 days later, after the 13 vaccination and 2 shots and 1 oral treatment, the baby died. So it's all right here. I don't like the way this person wrote this, because half the information is spread out. but you can read all this. I mean, there's a good summer story here, folks. I mean, this is a good, at least 3 pages. I mean, this is really tragic, folks. When a baby has to die because the system gave him 13 vaccinations at once. And yeah, there's supposed to be a T there, but you get the idea, folks. This is bad. I'm sorry, I have hiccups. And I burped. This comes from Native Pride. I'm guessing this baby was of a native family or near native family. I think that's why it's on this. I don't believe this is just a white American, but it could be. I don't really know. I'm sure it says one way or another on here, but I feel very strongly about this. People ask me, with all my medical problems, do I really believe in vaccinations and everything? The answer is no, I do not believe in it. However, I believe that at least some of the time, the vaccines do counter some of the stuff in the air and in the water and everything else, but the best thing you can do, folks, is to live in an area where you're not pressured to do this to your own kids. And to have as many kids as you can, kind of quote-unquote outside the system, if you can have it, which you may not be able to. I forget who, but I think somebody I used to know, one of my family members or something, had a kid that, what was it? It was like 1970s or 1980s. They had a kid that went like until the age of 3 or 4, and the kid never really was sick, never really had anything wrong with him, so they had no reason to really introduce him into the governmentalized world until he was in school. Well, things went on the way they should, and when the baby was born, they were born in the country, they lived in the country, the baby grew up around all that stuff, and it wasn't until he was about 4, 5, 6 that they even bothered to take him down to get his birth certificate and all this other stuff. I don't know how they got around that, but somehow or another, they did. And that was a bad situation. I think the kid got taken away. I think 2 of the other kids got taken away, but they were returned within like 6 months. But if you can have your family off grid, folks, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying don't get caught doing it. The less documents you have, the less they can own, folks, one way or another. But with all my medical problems, do I believe in vaccinations? The idea of a vaccination, yes, I agree on it. But I do not believe that going to Africa, to line your children up to have them get vaccinations because it is the, laboratory of the world, so to speak, the biolab of the world, is really a good thing. I don't like this, folks. I've had 2 or 3 major incidences with medical staff, and it got to a point where the medical staff had to have 2 individual doctors relieved of their medical licenses because I almost died due to a procedure that still today my family was never compensated. I almost died, and I was never fully compensated. Part of the reason I think my jaw is messed up due to seizures and stuff that night because of it, and I was never compensated for it. Long list of other things. You can say hemifacial microsomia all you want, but I've yet to be seen the markers for it and this and that. So, anyways, folks, I wanted to bring you this story. It's the only story I got tonight for you. It's nearly 20,000 on my end, which is probably roughly 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this so it doesn't become a 20-minute video because that's hard for me to upload. So this is really sad, folks. say a prayer and everything for this family. Thanks.